Okay, well, I'm afraid I will disappoint you a little bit. We're talking here about the time period of the 1930s. That's actually what I wanted to talk about, and about anti-Stalinist jokes in that time, in the 1930s. During the 1930s, political jokes and so-called anecdotes were pretty popular, and they appeared in all levels of Soviet society. And consistent rumors circulated that even members of Stalin's inner circle also created anti-Stalinist jokes. Once Stalin even summoned Radek, one of his from his inner circle. Once he summoned him to his office, and he said, Comrade Radek, people say that you tell jokes about me. Don't forget, I'm a leader of the revolution. I'm sorry, Radek said, but the joke that you are a leader of revolution is not mine. Basically, what I would like to tell you is how I present jokes. We got used to the fact that popular genres like jokes, for example, serve as an illustration for bigger cultural background, and but I teach jokes as primary source in my culture class, Soviet culture, in literature, actually, also in my short story class. And the course is in English for undergraduate. Basically, I would like just to talk about one joke and to show the background, the cultural and historical background for this joke. Collective farmer visits Moscow. He points to the Kremlin and asks the passerby, what is it? And the passerby says, the Kremlin, this is the Kremlin wall. And what the soldiers are doing here? Well, these are the guards. And who is inside these walls? And the passerby says, Stalin with great pride. And the peasant says, now the son of a bitch, he will never get out of there. So I would like just to put this joke in the context of the 1930s, so-called life-death joke. This is sort of my, is based on my research, but but I teach it to my students. Just a couple words generally how how humor works, how the joke works. According to some scholars, Arthur Kessler, for example, humor in a joke depends on some kind of incompatible context. But this is not enough. There should be some incompatibility, at the same time is overlap of these incompatible contexts. And there are different contexts, and one is life and death. So to show example from my period of time, the 1920s, how is life? One man asks the other. Well, like Lenin's my life is like Lenin's in mausoleum. Why is it like Lenin's? Why? Because they neither feed us nor bury us. So in the jokes of the 1930s, death most often manifests as some kind of persecution, obviously. It doesn't have to be death per se. It could be arrest, interrogation, imprisonment, torture, execution, and so on. It could be even some kind of recognizable signs, one recognizable sign, like a knock at the door, and then the whole picture basically could be in the background. Well, this is one of my favorite. Late night in the 1937, somebody knocks at the door. The husband already understands what it is, says goodbye to his wife, to the family, and while he packs his sort of little things, and while already near the door, he hears the voice on the other side of the door. Don't worry, everything is great. It is just our house is on fire. Everything is terrific. Everything is normal. So here, some natural disaster, natural death becomes something positive in comparison with the rest of the secret police. Anyway, so there are two types of jokes that I am talking about. One type is about life of a person. Life of a person under persecution. This person could be even an animal, like in some allegorical story, or this person could be from different times, from different historical times. But anyway, so life of the person in persecution, during the persecution. Trying to leave the Soviet Union, a rabbit ran to the Soviet-Polish border. The rabbit was caught and asked about his motives. And the rabbit said, well, you know, the GPU, the secret police, is going to arrest and castrate all the rabbits. I'm sorry. The GPU is going to arrest and castrate all the camels, rabbit says. And right, he is asking, why you're not a camel? Well, after they catch you and castrate you, try then to prove that you're not a camel. This is not our usual camel joke, the American camel joke. But actually there are some other sort of camels in the Soviet joke. What is a camel actually? That's a horse under interrogation in the secret police. How was Stalin presented in these jokes? And it's interesting that in the 1930s, the authors of course, anonymous, unknown authors of jokes portray Stalin also through this reality of life-death. Stalin's death or execution is presented in these jokes as some kind of wishful thinking or some kind of imaginary, but nevertheless some kind of execution presented very often in as a slip of a tongue and so on. In the 1929, at a workers' meeting, that's sort of the beginning of Stalin's cult. Stalin announces that he's ready to give all his blood, drop by drop, for the sake of the Communist Party.